How can you spend 25 or 27 years in jail, tortured and punished, and come out magnanimous?
Abe Lincoln used to say, good things may come to those who wait, but only those things left by those who hustle.
If you're the kind of person who's blaming people, hanging people, you've never seen me hang anyone out to dry.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena.
I heard a great speech from a woman once who said, you can have it all, you just can have it all at the same time.
It takes courage to be accountable. Throughout my life, throughout this crisis of the past few years, I have seen many people embarrass themselves by failing to stand up, being mealy-mouthed, and acting like lemons by simply going along with the pack. I also saw plenty of people under enormous pressure who always did the right thing. Graduates, you will soon leave this wonderful community and venture into a new world to get ready for new jobs, new opportunities, and new lives. Along the way, you're going to face a lot of pressure. Pressure to go along, to get along, to toe the line, to look the other way when you see things that aren't right, and pressure to do things simply because everybody else is doing them. Never give in to that pressure. Have the fortitude to do the right thing, not the easy thing. Don't be somebody's lapdog or sycophant. Have the courage to speak the truth, even when it is unpopular. And have the courage to put yourself on the line, to strive for something meaningful, and even to risk what would be an embarrassing failure. I think Teddy Roosevelt understood this nearly a century ago when he said, and I quote, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man, now the woman, who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without erring and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat."
The fact is, when you move up an organization, you know less and less. So like Steve Burbidge is here. He knows more what's going on in some of these markets than I do. I got to call him if I want to know. And that, as you all move up, you're not an expert. You're no longer an expert in what reports to you. You're an expert in a teeny sliver of it, and therefore the job becomes much more and more like a coach, a player coach, getting the best out of people. You do not get the best out of people if they don't respect you. You do not get the best out of people if you weren't the foxhole of them. You don't get the best out of people if you don't work as hard as they do. And they know that I do everything every damn day relentlessly, and I am relentless about it, to do a better job for the company, the clients, and the employees, and no BS about it. And so I think you have to show compassion, because if you're the kind of person who's blaming people, hanging people, you've never seen me hang anyone out to dry. Never commented on it, never, even though I've asked people to leave, because I know it's their families and I don't want to embarrass them, and it tells everyone in the company that, if you piss him off, you're going to be embarrassed publicly. And so it is showing respect, gratitude, recognition. You don't know it all, you didn't do it all, you didn't build it all. You're just trying to make it better when you leave than it was when you got there. Go to work at a place where you respect the people, you think the company has the kind of culture you like, it's going to grow, it's going to be ambitious, and your career will take who knows what path. And, do think ahead a couple of jobs so that you're always thinking maybe what I might want to do next. And, at one point in life, you have to make a vertical switch, or some point in life, make it fired, like some of us have been, and those are hard things, but they could be very good things. So I've also find some people said that's what they want, and they're looking up those 100 stairs, and they're always measuring how quickly they're going versus their friend. You're not doing the right thing. You're not enjoying your jobs. It takes a lot of luck to get to that top rung sometimes. And if you're really good, you'll probably get there, but it may not be at that company. It may be somewhere else. So I tell you, enjoy your life. Enjoy every step of it, and don't worry too much about that kind of ambition.
If you want to be a winner, then compare yourself to the best and acknowledge that will never happen without hard work. Abe Lincoln used to say, good things may come to those who wait, but only those things left by those who hustle. If you want to be a leader, act like a leader. If you want to be respected and trusted, then demonstrate you deserve it by earning it every day. If you want to be known as honest, Not telling lies is not sufficient. Don't even shave the truth. And make sure your friends and colleagues will always bring you back to earth when you, like we all do at times, are deceiving yourself.
What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
You have to work hard. I mean, that doesn't, but work smart. You know, a lot of people don't, they waste so much time and they don't think carefully. And there's that great quote, "I'm sorry I wrote you such a long letter. I didn't have time to write a short one." That's respect to people. You know, so you get your thoughts together. Have a process in place for decision making. Don't allow yourself to become weaponized, like at all. Like, you know, and don't have it, to the extent you have a temper, it works against you. You always have to end up apologizing. Have a thought process around things that are complicated, and you'll get better over life. You don't have to answer everything all at once. You know, I tell all the people at J.P. Morgan, everyone should take care on their own, their mind, their body, their spirit, their soul, their friends, their family, their health. They have to do that. It's part of their life. If you mess that up, you know, it makes everything else particularly hard. So, and I heard a great speech from a woman once who said, "You can have it all, you just can have it all at the same time."
It takes humility and humanity to be accountable. We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. Humility is the realization that those who came before paved the way. Never fool yourself into thinking that your success is yours alone. Your success is the result of your parents, the family who sacrificed to give you a better life, your professors and administrators who helped you get through your time here at Syracuse, your friends, neighbors, those who encouraged you. In fact, this wonderful country, whose bounties we all benefit from, was built by so many people who made endless sacrifices, often the ultimate sacrifice, before most of us were even born. It is important to respect what they have done and to be grateful for it.
But I always tell people, it is your job to take care of if you have a job, you know, and we all spend a lot of time there, but it's your job to take care of your mind, your spirit, your body, your soul, and your family. And you've got to take that officially, so I do. I've always taken my vacations, I've always had my family trips, I always, you know, cut something short for the family. This phone 24/7 is used for emergencies and children, and my wife. That's it.
Are there any particular leaders whose styles you've watched that helped you form your own style of leadership?
You know, there are some. My experience has always been that there are a lot of people you should learn from. The real people, if you ask me honestly, Nelson Mandela, guy, how can you spend 25 or 27 years in jail, you know, tortured and punished, and come out magnanimous? You know, Abe Lincoln. So, I mean, there are other people that I would say put on a much higher pedestal than business people. You know, obviously, I worked for Cindy Weil for many years. I learned a lot of things to do there. I also learned a few things not to do, because he and I used to argue about quite a bit of things. You know, what he was good at was focus on results, not a lot of BS. He actually didn't delve into details like you're going to need to do to make, you know, really intelligent business decisions. You know, Bob Lipp, who's on our board and now is a senior advisor to us, fabulous way of dealing with people. Brilliant guy, but probably the best skills at managing people through and kind of educating them, telling them in a very nice way that they were doing a terrible job and what was expected of them. You know, Bill Harrison, who, you know, the chairman of the company, has been such a gentleman throughout this whole process of succession. And succession is a terrible thing, and but he really is a gentleman and has a sense of maturity, which, believe it or not, there are a lot of people that run companies that are completely immature.